Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Twisted Metal 2 Part 3. This time around we're going to New York City. We're on the rooftops of buildings in New York City. This level looks a lot like the level from the last level in the other game, the first Twisted Metal. But this time it's New York City. We're going to see the iconic scenes of New York City, but only from the rooftops, as you can probably guess. This is entirely a rooftop-based level. See a Statue of Liberty off in the background. Here's the good old Lady Liberty, and you can see the buildings around here too. And the nice buildings like hammerheads cutting after. It's actually somewhat easy to push enemies off the edge of buildings in this game. Well, this level, that is. Well, you have to have like a really good car, like maybe hammerhead, maybe, or even axles. Axle special weapons actually ideal for stuff like that. And of course, just as usual, they're going to keep spamming their weapons at us, because that's just how the AI is in this game. The music is really epic in this level. It actually sounds like something out of Battle Arena to Shinden 2. I swear there's a song in Battle Arena to Shinden 2 that sounded a lot like that. The people who do the music to this game just don't get enough credit. The music to this game is like a masterful piece of music. People who did the music to this game, they deserve some sort of award for this. They just don't get enough credit. And you see Axel's in this level again too. Good old Axel. He's just going to spam his weapon. And Axel actually has a battle cry if you haven't noticed yet. When he uses a special weapon, you hear him yell, Axel power, when he uses a special weapon. So now we're in the pool. You see here in some building, just get out of the pool, it's probably all wet or that, not that really matters. There's some glass and you could shoot down. There's like bathrooms over there, and you can jump out into the... I wonder how big that pool is, if a tank or some army car like that. Ours could fit in it that easy. You can see there's a lot of glass wings you can break as well too, and there's going to be all those transport pads or teleport pads, whatever you call them. There's a lot of homing missiles around too. Homing missiles are really good for a lot of this, so you can position them and you can shoot at things from a distance. And of course, you should really make use of the shield, because enemies do tend to spawn their specials. And enemies also have unlimited energy too, so they can spawn freeze attacks on you too. Some of them are dirty scumbags in that. Mr. Slam's a bit of a dirty scumbag for that. I'm not sure if Mr. Slam's in this level. I know Sweet Tooth is in this level, and Sweet Tooth is probably the most powerful character in this game. It's not a boss, it's just a regular contestant, technically speaking. You can fall over. If you look over, it's kind of hard. You can't really see it there, but you can actually see that there's a code to unlock Sweet Tooth in this level if you fall in the very center of this level. You can actually find a code to unlock Sweet Tooth. So you don't enter in the password, you enter in on the character selection, the car select screen, and you can actually unlock Sweet Tooth. The unlockable playable characters to be a hidden character. It doesn't really make sense how to make Sweet Tooth a hidden character. They just made Sweet Tooth just how he was in the first game. He's just one of the contestants you could play as right from the beginning. But no, they probably want to make him some like strange taboo figure, some like some hidden taboo character kind of thing. It's like, ooh, maybe he's not really here, maybe he's a ghost, because he was in the first game, and he didn't technically die in the first game, so he didn't canonically win the first Twisted Metal. Maybe he's dead, he's a ghost that's coming after us to haunt us, or some living dead people. Those things like that do exist in the universe of Twisted Metal, so it would make a lot of sense that it could be, maybe he's coming back from the dead to kill us or something like that. I mean, it's why other dead contestants come back, such as Bruce Cochran. He must have died in the first game, but somehow he came back, and he's now in this game. He's also in the other game, too. He's also in the third Twisted Metal as well, too. But I'll eventually get to that game. If you play this game on easy, you wouldn't see this level at all. It would just tell you that you're a wuss and that you're a loser and that true winners play on normal or hard, and then it would send you back, and then it would just, have it bring you into easy mode. But so this is actually the first time we're actually getting into the true hard stuff of the game, the true what really makes Twisted Metal 2 the challenge that it is. As these battle on these rooftops, is run a Sweet Tooth. I think Sweet Tooth might actually be stronger than us, actually. We're in like an army truck or something like that, and Sweet Tooth is in roll. He's an ice cream truck. You think ice cream trucks are actually quite powerful? And I think you probably guessed, that's why that Ice Cream Man in Max Keeble was a pretty powerful villain too, simply because he has an ice cream truck. You don't want to have to get in a fight with someone that's in an ice cream truck. And Twisted Metal 4 really overused the concept of vans or ice cream truck like cars or something like that. Because in Twisted Metal 4, it's like, they're everywhere in that game. And maybe they were really running out of ideas by the time they made that game. So we see we're low on health, but I know a lot of places where you could get a full health recharge. I believe there's one just down here around there somewhere. Yeah, it's actually really easy once you learn the layout of this level. Well, it's actually possible too to outsmart your enemies so they can fall off the edge and get themselves killed. That actually does happen a lot in this level. Enemies actually do fall off the edge by themselves, sometimes by accident, and get themselves killed, which can actually work to your advantage. See, it'll just happen there. We only have one enemy left. That's because the other enemies there fell off the edge or got themselves killed somehow. So now we're just going against just us versus Sweet Tooth. There, just shot 3 Patriot missiles in the Sweet Tooth and voila, he's dead now. What a way to end a level. That's quite the way to end a level. Now we're going to the next level, Antarctica. We're going against 7 enemies this time around. That's actually quite a lot of enemies this time around. And this level is really hard because of global warming and climate change, Antarctica is a lot warmer than it used to be. So the life is going to fall apart. Look at that. Just froze Sweet Tooth because, and even though it's frozen in ice, because of global warming and climate change, the ice is going to melt because we're in Antarctica, which Antarctica isn't as cold as it used to be. We all used to think it's all icy cold and like burning cold kind of thing, but no, it's actually quite warm now because of global warming. It's probably how Axel can survive in this level too and not freeze up or go numb. Same with us. I highly doubt our cars have that much heat in them to keep us warm. So, yeah, and I said before, this level keeps falling apart. We're going to see that eventually in this level. So it can actually work to your advantage too. Just freeze someone on a platform and then, or one of these plates or whatever you call them, and then they're going to eventually, break apart. There, Sweet Tooth is fun. You always take out Sweet Tooth close to the beginning of each level, because Sweet Tooth actually is probably the most powerful regular contestant in this game. And there are health pickups around. They're actually quite hard to pick up. But you need to have a lot of turbo for that one. After you drive up the ramp kind of thing using turbo and collect that health pickup. Here's a weapon we've picked up, a homing missile, I think that was. Yeah, homing missiles are always a good deal for levels like these. And also the rate, I think our thing that says what enemies in front of us is always wrong. It said that was Thumper when that was clearly Grasshopper, which I think is often wrong a lot of the time too. The first game had that same problem too. So there's Thumper, as you can see, just driving off in the background there. Thumper's not that strong of a car, actually. It's actually really easy if you use a lot of ammo on and run into him a couple times. Kill off. You can see some people hanging around here that you could kill, too. I wonder if we could hang out in Antarctica. And it's probably I don't know if they're explorers. I don't think people are exploring Antarctica anymore. But there are people there, like maybe scientist people that hang out here that try to do experiments in Antarctica. Or ice is everywhere and there's absolutely no heat at all. And there's like things here that were obviously built by people. I feel bad for anyone who actually had to build something in Antarctica. What are the construction crews are like for that? You can see the grasshopper that's going to jump into us. That's what they call the grasshopper. She's called Grasshopper. She's going to jump into us. Grasshopper is probably the worst character in this game. Mostly because she's weak as hell. Her special weapon gets her beat up. And she's just really annoying as hell in this game. That's probably why she didn't return in any of the other sequels, except for Twisted Metal Head-On. She was in Twisted Metal Head-On. That game was like really just a big homage to Twisted Metal 2, because I really want people to forget about Twisted Metal 3 and 4. So this one made Twisted Metal Head-On as like the real, true Twisted Metal 3, the real, true sequel to this game. But really, Grasshopper isn't really that good of a car. I wish they could have instead brought back some of the better cars in the first game, like Crimson Fury, or even Yellow Jacket, of course, being my personal favorite in the first game, that's absent in this one. And Darkseid clearly had some influence in this game too, because Darkseid appeared on the title screen. Darkseid even appeared on one of the menu screens in the game too. They really were considering Darkseid to bring back Darkseid for this game, but that never actually happened for some reason. They cut Darkseid out of this game. We will see Darkseid in the next game, but that's another story. And there you can see Twister is still around. Twister still has some health left, still kicking around and driving around, probably gonna twist us around and throw, because Twister's special is actually quite dangerous in this level, because Twister could actually throw you away or throw you far away, and could easily get thrown off those ice plates that are those pieces of ice that keep breaking apart and falling out into the water, so which is instant death if you haven't figured it out yet, getting thrown off or broken down into the ice, or broken down to the water below. Because that's just how Antarctica is in the future. Antarctica is actually quite warm. I bet most of the world's actually flooded in this year, in this 2006, December 24th. I imagine it's December 24th, Christmas Eve, because the first game was set on Christmas Eve, so I assume this one's also set on Christmas Eve. While Santa's going out and delivering toys because he's busy at that, we're battling to the death right now. We're fighting each other off and trying to see, who's going to win and who's going to get Christmas and celebrate Christmas this year, and who's not going to have to celebrate Christmas this year or spend Christmas in hell, from the way the Twisted Metal 2 comic made it seem like. There actually is a comic based on Twisted Metal 2. It was made by DC Comics, and it pretty much tells of Calypso's backstory. And it actually pertains to Twisted Metal 2. It's a very rare comic, so it never got sold in stores. It had a very limited release. It's actually quite valuable. It's probably the most valuable thing of Twisted Metal ever made. And it's also considered canon by a lot of the fans too, because that directly pertains to Twisted Metal 2, the most canon game in the entire Twisted Metal franchise. just waiting for an enemy to appear so I could blow up this bomb and have them, be blown up with it too. Come on, won't someone come? It usually happens when you look away. There, yeah, see, look at that, looked away, and there, Grasshopper got mostly blown up. Grasshopper again is really weak, so it's not no surprise you'll take out Grasshopper. They actually paid attention to detail them, because when you kill a male character in the stand, you hear like a yelling sound when they die. But when female characters die, you're loud, like a Grasshopper right there too. The 989 games, the next two Twisted Metal games, didn't do any of that at all. Instead, they just had it be one scream. It's clearly a man screaming. They did it for all of the characters, regardless of if they're male or female or whatnot. But that's just how 989 was. Some people say that Twisted Metals 1 and 2 are the two real Twisted Metal games, and Twisted Metals 3 and 4 are just merely parodies of Twisted Metal. That's how it seems a lot of the time. Well, we've won Antarctica now, so that concludes this video. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.